All right, so what we have here is simply an organizational tool. We refer to it often as the diamond, even though it's a giant X. We call it a diamond because you can draw a diamond around it, and that's how it was in the book that we used to use. So if you're wondering why we do that. And the way that this structure works is you have two numbers on the side, and what goes up here is those numbers multiplied together, or the product. So this would be M times N. And what goes on the bottom is M plus N. That is the sum. Now, where these things are is pretty arbitrary. It doesn't really matter. This is just a tool for you. And what I'm going to do in a minute, you can do in your own way. This is just, again, one way to do it that some people find helpful. If you don't find it helpful, then don't use it, if you can get where you need to go. So, if I'm looking at this one right here, I know two numbers multiply to give me 18, add to give me negative 11. So, just going to write that. So multiply to give me 18, add to give me negative 11. So the first thing I'm going to do is factor 18. So I got 1 and 18. Don't forget the 1 in the number. That's the most frequently forgotten. 2, 18 divided by 2 is 9. 18 divided by 3 is 6. 18 divided by 4 is not a whole number. 5, not a whole number. And then we're back to 6 and 3. So we have all of our factors for 18. Now, we have a negative 11, which means we've got, they're going to add up to a negative, but multiply to a positive. And a negative times a negative gives you a positive. A negative plus a negative gives you a negative. So what that means is that all of these are negative. So the pair that's going to add to negative 11 is going to be this negative 2 and negative 9. So let's look at the next one. We need them to multiply to 36, add to 9. So I'm just going to factor 36. I'm not going to worry about the negative on it just at this moment. I'll deal with that soon. So 1 and 36, 2 and 18. 36 divided by 2 is 18. 36 divided by 3 is 12. 36 divided by 4 is 9. 36 divided by 5 is not a whole number. And then 36 divided by 6 is, 36 divided by 6 is 6. So these two numbers are the same. If that happens, we know we have all of our factors. So if they if they multiply to a negative number, one of these, either the smaller factor or the larger factor, has to be negative. If the bottom number is positive, the bigger number is positive. On this next one, the bottom number is negative, the bigger number needs to be negative. So whatever the sign is of what they add up to, that needs to be the sign of the bigger number. So I'm going to go ahead. If the bigger number, in this case, this is positive, these are positive, then I'm going to make these smaller numbers negative. And then I can just look and add these up. Negative 1 plus 36 is 35. Negative 2 plus 18 is 16. Negative 3 plus 12 is positive 9. So that pair right there is the pair that I want to use. Negative 3 and 12. So this last one over here, negative 20, going to factor 20. So again, multiply to give me 20, add to give me negative 8. So 1 and 20, 2 and 10, not divisible by 3, so then 4 and 5, and then we're at 5 and 4, and that's all of our factors. So here, they multiply to give me a negative number. So if they multiply to give me a negative, one of them's got to be negative, either these or these. They add to a negative, so the bigger number needs to be a negative. So what we have here, 1 plus negative 20 is negative 19. 2 plus negative 10 is negative 8. So that's the pair that I want. So hopefully that helps kind of give you more of a process for that and help you out with those negatives.